fans, this is nuts. Nick Richards, a free agent, was literally seen in a recent video in the Miami Heat facility, working out with Heat players, wearing Miami Heat gear on. Does this signal that he is going to join this team and roster very soon? He's a player we've talked about in the past. We'll talk about on today's show presented by Prize Picks. This was a screenshot collage posted on Twitter. I forgot the account that did it. Shout out to you, though, who took it from Davion Mitchell's Instagram post. You see the 4 screenshots here. You see him bottom right in a red penny guarding Davion Mitchell. You see him in the top left on Davion Mitchell's team wearing a Miami Heat long sleeve shirt guarding Bam Adebayo. I'm sorry, this is not a coincidence. And maybe you could say, I am looking too much into this. I don't know if I am, though. He's been training in Miami all summer long. Now, that's not the biggest surprise. A lot of NBA players live and train in Miami. But when he's been seen in, I think, about 3 or 4 public workout videos, always with Davion Mitchell, always with UDFA Trey Donaldson, and now in the Heat's facility wearing Heat gear, too many coincidences mean something's going to happen. And it's not like it was just a bunch of randoms in the Heat facility. No, Bam Adebayo was in this little pro run in scrimmage. Obviously, Davion. Bobby Portis was there. A handful of UDFAs for Miami. Trey Wright, Trey Donaldson, Javon Hadley, Ian Shefflin was there as well. We also had some other free agents like Victor Oladipo and James Wiseman in this run. Heck, this is where I draw the line. Miami Heat coaches were there. I don't know the CBA rule. I don't know how this works. I just think, in a general common sense, that in the offseason, unless you are on the Heat roster, you should not be allowed to be in the Heat facility working out with Heat coaches there. That feels like some sort of tampering. I don't know. I don't want to expose my own team, but that's the buildup that I'm trying to make here. Is like when you have coaches in the building, is this a tryout that's not reported? What is this? Because when you have coaches, gear on, them keeping score of the scrimmage on the sideline, feels like a tryout to me. So if the Heat sign a guy like Nick Richards, you know we'll be making a video on the channel. We've made multiple videos about potentially signing Nick Richards. Subscribe today. But I don't think I'm overreacting. And I don't want to rehash the same point here. Heat gear, Heat coaches on the sideline. I saw Wayne Ellington. I saw Eric Spoelstra in the background. That tells me something. And I feel like Richards, a player that I've linked to Miami, could be joining this roster. It also isn't lost on me that there were some other free agents there, like Victor Oladipo, an old friend of the program, who I don't think is going to be signed. Maybe they bring him in on a camp invite and carry him through the preseason, but I doubt he is on a standard deal at some point with the Heat. But free agent James Wiseman was there. But here's the big contrast. I told you Nick Richards was wearing Miami Heat gear. James Wiseman was not. He was wearing some random t-shirt, which is why I think there's a bit of a difference here. We know if we go back a month, almost to the day, to Giannis Antetokounmpo's introductory press conference, Pat Riley said after the fact to reporters that, hey, I think we need a big, but a different kind of big, an athletic rim protector type. And I responded to that, one, reacting, saying that, so that's why you guys got to go follow me, but also that Nick Richards is the best free agent available that fits that mold. And here we are, 4 or 5 weeks later, and I still believe that. Is Nick Richards an elite big man? No. Is he a serviceable third center? Absolutely. I've been I wouldn't say a fan, but I've been fond of his ability to impact the game. Going back to his day in Charlotte, his initial trade to Phoenix. I think I made a video 2 years ago about sending 2 second-round picks to Charlotte to get Nick Richards. You see some of the advanced stats there, 90th percentile in every rebounding statistic. Not the greatest rim protector, but he's not the worst. Like, I'm bullish on Nick Richards' ability to be a athletic, rim finishing, protecting, rebounding big man in 10 to 15 minutes a game throughout the regular season. I'm not asking to be a starting center here. I'm just asking to be a serviceable backup, which is something Miami has not had in the last 5-6 years with Cody Zeller, Dwayne Dedmon at times, just to name a few. More on this conversation. Today's show is sponsored, though, by Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Go see every lineup I make on the social feeds feature. My handle is RollyCS. We're just about across 50 followers, so let's get there. We're trying to get 100. I'm verified. You can see the lineups that I make every single day, and boy, I do make lineups every single day. Got a bonus lineup that I received from my losing Flex Friday lineup last week, so that's one reason to play Flex Friday. You lose, you get bonus lineups in return. We got less on first inning runs with Sandy Alcantara and Aaron Nola. I feel like that's a really good one. And we got 3 W picks. More on Olivia Miles, 19.5 points. Done this in 3 of her last 5 games. We got less on Shakira Austin, 33.5 points, rebounds, assists, and less on Morrow, points and rebounds, 17.5. You can see every lineup I make. You can make predictions on who wins, spreads, totals. You got it all over on Prize Picks. Download the app, use code HMA. That unlocks a new user offer where you win your first $5 lineup. You get $150 in bonus lineups. Appreciate Prize Picks for sponsoring today's show. Obviously, I'm high on Nick Richards, and I would like Miami to go out and add him. I've said this for a very long time. I am intrigued, though, with the Heat coaching staff getting an up-close look at a couple free agent athletic big men, Wiseman, Richards, in person, if they would go out and sign Wiseman instead. Now, Wiseman, a former 5-star prospect, highly touted recruit, went, I think it was 2nd overall in the 2020 draft. He went in between Anthony Edwards, #1, and LaMelo Ball at #3, but he never panned out. And he's only played 5 NBA games the last 2 years due to a torn Achilles in 2024, but really never finding a spot in any rotation in 2025. That comes, unfortunately, after Wiseman's best season of his career in 2023, when he had a very solid season with the Detroit Pistons. Actually, in 17 minutes a night, 63 games, averaged 7 points, 5 boards, shot 61% from the field. So the last year in the NBA before the Achilles tear, he was solid. Now, I don't think he's as good as a guy like Nick Richards, because if you look at his career advanced stats, he ranks way lower than Richards in almost every single statistic. Like rebounding percentage, 4% less than Richards. Offensive rebound percentage, 4% less. Defensive rebound percentage, 4% less. You look at the defensive differences. Richards isn't great, 0.4, but Wiseman, -0.4, defensive Darko plus minus. The rim differential percentage, a little bit better for Wiseman, so better rim protector there, although Richards does average more blocks per game. Like, I don't mean to tear down James Wiseman here, but I just feel like with him not really seeing a ton of game action over the last 2 years, yes, he was a former #2 overall pick, but I would rather add Nick Richards if you were going to add another athletic big man to this roster than James Wiseman. But I'll let you guys get your opinion down in the comment section. Pick a free agent for the Heat to potentially go out and sign. Type NR for Nick Richards or JW for James Wiseman. I just noted the differences, but I'll take Nick Richards. One, he's played basketball the last 2 years. He's never suffered a major injury. Sure, is Wiseman analytically a better rim protector? Yes. But I don't think that's what Miami should honestly be prioritizing with this roster spot if they were to go add another big man. I'm looking to prioritize rebounding, and I'm looking to prioritize finishing around the rim. And that's where Nick Richards is a bit better than James Wiseman. I don't know. Maybe I told you earlier I'm looking too much into this, but I feel like the writing is on the wall with Nick Richards. When you string together all of these appearances with Davion Mitchell, Trey Donaldson, a random pro run at the Miami Hurricanes practice facility with Bam Adebayo, Amen Thompson, Victor Oladipo, others. We talked about that last week. Like, and then you work out inside the Heat's facility with coaches watching. I feel like a signing is going to happen. I just wonder if it's going to be a standard vet min deal or is it going to be a camp deal like the Heat did with Precious Achiuwa last year. They didn't ultimately assign Precious Achiuwa, and then he had a really strong season with the Sacramento Kings. I hope they don't make the same mistake potentially with Nick Richards because I think his skill set would be beneficial to add. Miami needs probably another shooter. That's why they're looking at Klay Thompson. But I think it's beneficial to add another true center. You only have one true big on this roster, and that's Bam Adebayo. Bobby Portis, you can play at small ball 5. You can play Nikola Jovic at small ball 5. Heck, you can play Giannis Antetokounmpo at small ball 5. But what do those three have in common, not named Bam? They're all better as a 4, if you will, to where Jovic can play more as a perimeter guy, cut more off the ball. Bobby Portis shot 45% from 3 last year. So if you go to that second unit and you have to play them at small ball 5, well, maybe that limits what they're able to bring to the table. Or you just play a 5-out offensive system. That's very possible as well. Adding Nick Richards gives you another big man to help rebound defensively, helps maybe another pick and roll guy, and a rim finisher as well. I think it's really beneficial to add Nick Richards. To me, I think I said this about a month ago, that the perfect close to the offseason is Miami officially landing Klay Thompson and then signing Nick Richards. The last 24 hours have only confirmed that for me. So I'm really hoping Miami ends the year with Klay and Richards. And then I'm ready to go check ball because I think this team could absolutely contend in the Eastern Conference. That'll do it for today's show. If you want more coverage on the Heat, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Nick_Roloff because if the Heat do make a signing, we have you covered over there before we make a video. And I also reacted to this little Nick Richards thing yesterday on Twitter before making this video. Just more proof. Got to go follow me over there and subscribe.